Well, if you're watching this video, you're like me and you probably busted a tail lamp on a Toyota Highlander, 2011 Toyota Highlander. Went to the dealership to see how much that would cost. They quoted me over $400, at which point I'm like, maybe this can be done myself, and it actually can, and it is not nearly as bad as they would make you think it is. An OEM part, that Toyota genuine part, would be about $170 delivered to your door. You can order that online. I opted for a aftermarket, cost me $80, and probably takes about an hour or so to install. And once you know what you're doing, if I had to do this again, let's say I broke the left one, I might be able to get it done in about 30 minutes. So hope you enjoy the video, and hope this helps you out. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the rear tail light on a 2011 Toyota Highlander. You can see here's the broken one. You will need a replacement, a 10mm deep socket, a screwdriver, both a standard and Phillips, and in this case some sort of plastic tool comes in handy to help pry the old one off. In this case I used a snow shovel, not a snow shovel, snow scraper. So it is helpful to take a look at the unit so you see how it's attached. There's the unit, goes right there. On the back you see two screws, a screw here, a screw here, and then there's a third point where it clips into the outside of the car, and that's where the snow brush came in handy to just kind of pop that clip loose on the outside. If you have an adjustable, a swivel deep socket wrench, you might actually be able to do everything you need through this access hole here, and you can reach those two screws back there. I do not have it adjustable, nor could I actually get quite to it through there, so I opted to remove the paneling, which is what I'll show you how to do today. It'll go a little faster for me because I opened everything already just to see if this was something I could even do, and then after I figured out I could do it, I kind of just partially put things back together, so it'll come apart a lot quicker for me, I believe, because none of my screws are really tightened on the paneling over here. So the first thing you want to do is clear out some space in the trunk. So I've removed everything, and I'm going to remove this panel with this tab, and I will pop this panel over here. I will take out my tire jack, one styrofoam, the jack itself, and a second styrofoam, and in the bottom here are two black bolts, right here and right there. Those you can unscrew with your hands, and then there's a plastic little snap piece here which you'll just pry off with a flathead. You would probably need a flathead for this, but I didn't pop mine back all the way in, so for me it just comes right out. So after removing the screw with your hand down there and down here, and the one snap right here, you just take the little cover here that snaps right off, and you now have access to just pull this entire shelf out, and that gives you lots of room to work with. The next thing holding the panel in is this latch here, as well as that screw right there. So over here you can just use a flathead and you can pull open that snap. That exposes a 10mm screw here, which you'll need your socket for, but once again I didn't really tighten mine and then that piece comes out, and just using a Phillips head, you'll be able to remove. Next thing you want to do is pull up on the black lid here. There's a few slots it sits in right there and there, which won't be visible on yours, but they are 9 because I've already pulled it out and just kind of gotten it out of the way. Insert a screwdriver and over here to pop this piece off. And there we go. One last screw right there. Phillips screwdriver. We'll take that one out. I found that once the easiest way to remove the panel is to pull that out of the latch right here. And once you've done that and pulled this piece off, you can just kind of pry that back and pop that open. Underneath there is another screw there, and once you remove that screw, that's all you got to do, and you got complete access to the parts you need. Okay, now that I have this cover off and some good access here, you can see what we're dealing with. Here is this hole right there, and that metal hole right behind my finger is where the lower screw for the light holder is, or the tail light. And up here you can see another metal opening. The other screw is about 3 inches up above there. If you just follow this metal oval around to the top right of it, you will find the other screw. Now I'm going to pry this bottom piece out, get my socket, insert it in the hole, and I'll just unscrew that nut off of the screw, which I've actually already done. And then I will follow the oval up here to the top. You kind of have to just feel for it, and then I will unscrew the second one. Now comes the hard part. The 2 screws and that little latch I showed you earlier are the only things holding this thing in. And you can kind of wiggle it around a little bit. I've already loosened mine up, which is why it's so loose. Yours will likely be really snug. I saw another video where they just said wiggle back and forth, wiggle back and forth. And I tried and tried, had a lot of difficult times doing that. But this side is not clipped. What's holding it is the small clip on the back side of that. That looks like that. And so my way around that was to take my snow brush, scraper side, and just push really hard right here. So to loosen this side, I took my snow scraper, put it right in the edge. Figured it's plastic, it's not going to hurt anything too much. By this time I was already desperate, and I gave it a good hard shove, and it sounded like I cracked the whole display off, or the whole light off, but all it did was just get it past that little snap, and then it loosened up for me. So there it goes. Before you remove the taillight, you'll have to disconnect the wires from the lamp fixture. You can either do that through this side, just grab those wires, and there's little clips on the back, or once you've loosened it up some and you've pulled out the fixture, you can kind of pull it back and reach the plugs over here, and they're kind of like little snap fits. You just kind of squeeze them and they pop off. So here's a view of the car with the tail lamp removed, and you can see this yellow clip is what held that other piece on and holds it on very tightly to the rest of the car. See the 1, 2, 3 wires, which I will plug into the new fixture. So there's the 3 wires plugged back in. They do just snap right in. Sorry I wasn't able to show you that. I just actually couldn't hold the camera and those clips and the tail lamp all at the same time, but they just snap right in as you would think they would. Now you'll feed the those big long bolts through the holes. Line this up, and make sure you snap it into with that yellow clip that we saw earlier, and then reassemble. So there's the new tail lamp all hooked up, and sure enough, as I pressed it in over that yellow piece, there was a audible little snap that held it in place, and it's now pretty snug. These are the two screws that hold the that you bolt in through the to hold the tail lamp onto the car itself. So I'm going to go ahead and put those back on, and then we will reassemble everything pretty much in the reverse order that we took it out.